today, I'm gonna try to do something a little different. Yeah, I may have mentioned it before on this channel, but I have been trying to learn Turkish using Duolingo, which I know a lot of people are like, it sucks, but like, not a lot of Turkish people to talk to in this state, so, you know. And I'm not a big online friend guy. It's not my thing. But yeah, so I'll be using this today. Then of course there's still gonna be another Kinu lesson, but that's gonna be on a different topic today. Not health, but gardening. So yeah. With any luck, this might be a decently long lesson. So let's see. I've never been a big like paper guy when it comes to triggers, but I know some people are, so that's why I figured I'd try it out. I'm sorry if this gets loud. So for the first problem they want me to translate, I want to eat bread, which I'm going to try not to look at the word boxes and everything and translate at first, which this one should be pretty simple. The word for I being ben. Want is istiyor. Eat bread. Ekmek ye. So I think together it would probably be. I'm going to get this so wrong. Their grammar is so different to me. I'm going to try and say ben istiyorum, which the base word is istiyor, want. Istiyor is I want. But this is one too, so that might be something like istimak or istiyormak. I don't remember. I'm new to this section, clearly. So we're gonna try ben istiyormak. Ekmek yerim, which ye means eat or years. Can't remember. I think it's ye. And then years, which it's weird, at least according to Duolingo, if it has an R at the end. If it's in the middle of a sentence, it usually just comes out as an R. But if it's at the end, it usually sounds like almost like a ZH sound, like zh. So like, yerlash. I don't know, it's weird. But I'm going to go with ben, istiyormak, ekmek yerim. Yeah, that looks wrong already, judging by the word box. It is. So the correct answer, I didn't need ben, I guess. Ben and then having istiorum is like redundant, which makes sense now that I think about it. But it's not istiourmak. It's still istiorum, but it's, what was it? Yemek. So to eat. Right, because it's to eat, not to want. I should have picked up on So it's ekmek, yemek, istiyorum. Ekmek yemek istiyorum. I want to eat bread. The next one they want me to translate is sometimes I want to stay, sometimes I want to go. I don't even know how to begin explaining this, which overall I think kind of makes doing this more meaningful because now it's like I have to actually figure it out up here instead of just matching things that sound familiar. So it's bazen blank istiyorum bazen gitmek. Bazen being sometimes. Blank is to stay. Istiyorum is I want. And then bazen again being sometimes and gitmek to go. So I need to know what the word stay, the base word is. I don't remember. It's unfortunate. I never do. Okay. That didn't help at all. Like I know now that to stay is kalmak. But I'm not sure which one of these are supposed to be the base word for stay. Obviously some form of cow something. Kal. By the way, it probably sounds like I'm saying cow, like the animal. Kalmak. So, bazen, kalmak, istiyorum. My microphone almost fell. Hopefully it's not too loud with me fiddling with it. Right, bazen, kalmak, istiyorum. Bazen, gitmek. Yeah, gitmek. I did put my phone keyboard in Turkish for this. So it's definitely difficult trying to figure my way out around it. The next one is I hate you because I love you. Send in blank. Ediyorum. Çünkü seni seviyorum. Send in is like a see, cause sen is the base word meaning you. I want to say send in is like when something happens towards you, when you're the subject of it. And then çünkü is because seni seviyorum is I love you. I want to say hate is nefret ediyorum. So, I don't know, like nefmak or something. I feel like it would still be nefret though. It is. So send in nefret ediyorum. Çünkü seni seviyorum. And we'll write that one down too. I know that if anyone who actually speaks Turkish sees this, I can just imagine how horrible my pronunciation is to them. But you know what? It's a learning process. That's that's what we're here for, right? I honestly don't know if I'm going to finish this lesson though, because this video might end up being like an hour long at that point. It's a little too long. Actually, I don't even think my phone would survive that. It's at like 30% right now. I guess it would be fine. She wants to write a book. So, for he, she, or it, the base word is usually O. When they're, I can't remember if it's when they're doing something or when they're the subject that it becomes like ona or onu. I'm going to assume that it's still O. So she wants to write O istiyor. Right. I want to say it's yazar. Yazar. I hope Duolingo's not messing me up with that CH thing. But yeah, I want to say it's Yazash. And then Yazash. Now it just sounds weird. But I guess that would mean it would be. See, she wants to write a book. O istiyor yazmak. O istiyor kitap yazmak, maybe? No, because it's istiyor. Technically, it would be redundant, apparently, I think, because they don't even have O or anything like that as an option. I guess it's technically still just as redundant as a ben istiyorum. So instead it's bir istiyor. No, bir kitap, a book. Yazmak istiyor, I think. Yeah, bir kitap yazmak istiyor. Which is why the grammar usually confuses me, because it's like word to word translation for us. That's a book to write, she wants. So I'm still trying to wrap my head around why, because Duolingo doesn't do a good job at explaining that stuff, which is probably why people hate it. But, you know, it's the best cheap writing tool I've got. Well, language learning tool I have. And I mean, it's helping a little, you know. It's not the best, but it helps, I guess. I'd understand at least a little of something if I somehow woke up in Turkey with a hairline transplant. He wants to buy everything. I kind of already looked at the line, but I'm still going to try. Now it's kind of too late. Pretty sure the missing word is almak, I want to say. Because it's, yeah, her, she, which is, her is her, she is everything, I believe. And then istiyor is once, obviously he wants, because the ending doesn't change. Because he is another he, she, it word where it's O, so the base word still applies. And then to buy. Buy is alyor. And guessing it's Almac. Almak. It was. I mean, we're halfway through this one, so I think I will finish this and then do the other. I didn't write that down. Let me write that down. I hope you guys can actually hear the writing happen too, because otherwise it would kind of defeat the purpose of this lesson. It was really to add writing sounds, but I would feel weird if I was just writing and there was nothing there. So, you know, it is very difficult to find that skirt. I want to cheat so badly because it is very difficult to make this sentence. Okay. All right. It is very difficult to find that skirt. Very difficult is most likely going to be chokzor in this instance, at least for Duolingo's current purposes. To find, I don't know what the word for find is, and that's what's going to get me. And I think I said it's very difficult to find this skirt. Skirt is etek. I don't know if the fact that it's a specific skirt chain, maybe bu etek, or if it's the skirt. Because I'm trying not to look, it would be ete. I think that's how it's pronounced. It's ete, and there's like that curved, almost like a U for the accent over the G, and then an I, which pretty much makes the G silent in most Turkish words when it has that accent, I think. Yeah. So, how would I even word this? It's that skirt. So, it might still be. No, that would make it shoe, etek, or ete. I'm still not sure which one it is. But I guess, because I don't think it'd be shunlash. So we'll try shoe, etek. I was so wrong. So wrong. Okay. Because my eyes like darted down and I seen it. It's o ete. I'm guessing the word that instead. See, this is another thing. They don't really describe the differences for certain situations. Because before they were showing me was it's this and these is usually bu and bunlaj. bunlar. And then that and those is shu and shunlaj. So if that is supposed to be shu, which is like a S with an accent below it, and you, when does shu become O? Maybe when there's a specific object? I don't know. Anyway, O, ete, blank, choke, zosh, which choke is also accent below the C. Okay. I don't know what to find is Bulmac. this word and could not remember it. So, yeah, that's fun. Ooh. All right, now for the rest, I'm not going to use the notebook only because it's already been 20 minutes and we still have more stuff to get to. Okay. In case you guys haven't noticed this, it's kind of my apology for going missing. So, that's fine. All right. So, speaking French is very difficult. Francisca, Francisca konuşmak çok zor. The French is always going to trip me up in this, the way they pronounce it. It's spelled Frans. I don't even know if you can call it an accented I. It's like an I without the dot. ZCA. The next one is I don't want to forget you. Seni blank istemiyorum. So, with a word like that, istiyor is want. Istemiyor is don't want. And then istemiorum is I don't want. Seni obviously making you the subject of it. It's derived from sen, which is you. So usually when they add like an I at the end, Seni or Benny, it means you or I is the subject of what is being said, which I'm explaining it poorly because I'm pretty sure subject is not used like that in our grammar rules, but yeah, because the subject is the thing that's doing something to someone else for our grammar. Anyways, I think, I don't know, it's been a while, but yeah, I definitely don't remember what the word for forget is. Unut. Forget is unut. Seni unutmak istemiyorum. I would hate to be whatever poor soul has to speak Turkish to me someday. Because it's going to be so slow. I can only imagine how badly it's going to drag on for them. Especially because sometimes, like there's a Turkish news channel I follow on Instagram. They speak so fast whenever their posts pop up. I do not want to say anything. İstemiyorum to say. To say I want to say is duymak or duymak. Something like that. But I don't remember because I think it's duyuyor is like saying. I don't remember. Maybe it was a different word I'm thinking of. And then anything is. I don't think that's Hershey. That's everything. Hershey is everything. I can't remember if anything was different or not, though. Okay. So to say is demek. Berşey. I guess anything roughly translates to a thing for us. I don't know. Anyways, Berşey. I don't know which one goes where. I'm going to try istemiorum demek. The other way around, demek istemiorum. No, and then my mistake from earlier, I went to eat bread. I don't remember the mistake. I wrote it down and don't remember it. What is wrong with me? Okay. Ekmek, yemek, istiyorum. Yeah, okay. So the thing you're doing goes before the ones. I don't. Okay. Bir şey demek istemiyorum. They just handed me a medal saying congrats because you stuck with that lesson for 25 minutes. If I wasn't writing it down, it probably would have taken me 3. There's a certain level of disrespect in that, okay? My phone vibrates like 30 times. Oh, I'm at the top of the leaderboard. How in the world did I get like 100 XP for that? I'm not in the Diamond League though, so it's not that impressive. I stopped shooting for the Diamond League a while back because I didn't want to go to the tournaments. I went once and some dude was at like 2,000 the first morning I logged in, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm good. But yeah, it's 1:20 right now, AM, of course. I was going to do some stretching after this. I've got to learn how to do splits because I've started learning Taekwondo just off of YouTube from the GMA YouTube channel, Global Martial Arts. I think it is. I think that's what it was. I just saved the playlist. I don't remember. But yeah, it's fun. But a lot of stretching. I can almost do a split, like the both ways, honestly, but not quite there. Then I stopped stretching, but I was only like 6 or 7 classes in anyway, so I figured I'd probably just start over. I'm also really thinking about what was it? Going to this kung fu dojo down the street, but it's kind of expensive. But I really want to do a martial art again. Okay, all right. Now we're back to our usual, regularly scheduled program. This one, like I mentioned before, is on soil gardening. This specific chapter is soil management techniques. So let's get into it. Whoa. I hope I'm not getting sick because I could just feel the mucus in my throat when I took that breath. But okay. Soil needs to be managed, and there are a number of ways to go about that. Crop rotation is a time-tested practice of growing different types of crops in the same area in sequential seasons. Crop rotation can improve soil fertility and structure, as different crops have different nutrient needs and root structures. For example, leafy green vegetables like lettuce and spinach have high nitrogen requirements for leafy growth. On the other hand, legumes like soybeans or peas have the ability to fix atmospheric nitrogen into the soil. By rotating these two crops, you can balance the nutrient demands on the soil and promote a more diverse soil structure. Rotating crops can help to break pest and disease cycles, as many pests and diseases are specific to certain crops. By changing the crops each season, you can disrupt the life cycles of these pests and diseases, reducing their populations. That's actually really dope, honestly. on life. I have plenty of interests right now. There's a super cheap bookstore. I think I mentioned this in my last video. But I ended up buying like 30 books for $80. And it was so cheap that I was like, I feel like I'm robbing them. And then I left a $40 tip because I was like, places like this need to stay in business. But yeah. Considering the high nitrogen needs of leafy greens, what type of crops should you rotate with them and why? I don't remember. I'm sorry. But, I mean, beans are always a good one. I know they put nitrogen into the soil. Legumes, they can fix atmospheric nitrogen. Now, do beans count as legumes? I don't think so. I feel like legumes are like nuts or something. I'm going to take that one because technically my answer wasn't bad. But I'm on you, legumes. Nah, I'm going to forget because it's only fair. It's only fair. Through crop blank, which is obviously rotation, soil quality is improved, nutrient balance is maintained, and pest and disease cycles are disrupted. Soil amendments are materials added to soil to improve its physical properties and nutrient content. They can be used to adjust soil pH, improve soil structure, increase nutrient levels, and enhance water retention and drainage. Compost, manure, and pH materials are good examples, but these are not the only amendments you can use. For example, peat moss can enhance the soil's water holding capacity, and perlite, crushed volcanic material, can improve soil aeration and drainage. Funnily enough, in one of my gardening books, I did actually just read about peat moss. The choice of soil amendment depends on the specific needs of your soil and the plants you are growing. For example, if your soil is acidic and you want to grow plants that prefer alkaline conditions, you might add crushed eggshells or wood ash to raise the soil pH. On the other hand, if your soil is sandy and drains too quickly, you might add coconut coir to improve its water holding capacity. It looks like it's pronounced coir. It's like noir, but with a C. I don't think I've ever seen this word a day in my life, so that's interesting. Match each soil amendment to its function. They didn't even go over pine needles. What is this? Did they? Did I just read right past it? Okay. Perlite, I believe, improved drainage. Crushed eggshells made it more alkaline. I'm going to go with... No, I feel like I got something wrong here. But I'm going to say pine needles improves water retention and coconut coir makes the soil more acidic. Coconut coir and pine needles need to be replaced. So pine needles makes the soil more acidic and coconut coir improves water. Okay, I can see that. Composting is a transformative process that turns organic waste into a nutrient-rich soil conditioner. This process, let me make sure I'm reading this, because I swear it's like I go on autopilot, and I need to stop doing that. But I'm so used to just bland, like, or enjoying content on autopilot, which is why I'm trying to step off of social media right now, because I feel like I've been on Instagram just scrolling reels so much lately that it's like numbing my brain, and it's probably the reason that I felt so like unmotivated, and then I took like 2 days off, and now here I am. 37. Technically 35 because I spent like 2 minutes with the video on getting ready, but 37 minutes into a video. Anyways, composting is a transformative process that turns organic waste into a nutrient-rich soil conditioner. This process involves the decomposition of organic materials such as kitchen scraps and yard waste by microorganisms. The end product, compost, is rich in nutrients and can improve soil health and fertility. There are several methods of composting that you can choose from depending on your needs and resources. Backyard composting involves piling organic waste in your yard and turning it regularly. Vermicomposting uses worms, usually red wigglers, to speed up the decomposition process. I just forgot what I was reading because I am also listening to my dad yell at my little brother for being up too late. But to be fair, he has school tomorrow. I have work tomorrow, but I mean, my shit doesn't start till 1 p.m. anyway, so I'm good. There are several methods of composting that you can choose from depending on your needs and resources. Backyard composting involves piling organic waste in your yard and turning it regularly. Vermicomposting uses worms to speed up the decomposition process, while bokashi composting uses a specific type of microorganism to ferment organic waste. Adding compost to your soil can provide a range of benefits. It can improve soil structure, making it easier for plant roots to penetrate. It can also increase the soil's water holding capacity, reducing the risk of drought stress. Moreover, compost can enrich the soil with nutrients, promoting healthier and more vigorous plant growth. Match each type of composting to the definite. I feel like a lot of this would be easier. The questions would be easier if I didn't have match this answers. I hate them so much. But I also feel like it's a good way to see where I am the first time around. I'm also pretty sure that this app, when I first downloaded it, did say something along the lines of the more you learn about certain content, the harder the question types would be, and the more advanced the question types would be as you get better with the certain categories of content. So that way it's not always just the same question with the same phrasing. They'll put it in a way you've never heard it before. They might have something that's like an application of knowledge, I think, instead. So, match each type of composting to the definition. Backyard, I think, is the regular turning. Vermicompost is the worms. Bokashi is using microorganisms. Hugelkultur, I don't know what that is. Not a type of composting, thankfully. Can you list 3 main advantages of adding compost into garden soil? Water retention, nutrient balance. No, I can't remember the other one. I mean, I did read in another book, I'm pretty sure that certain types of compost, maybe it was mulch I was thinking of, might be mulch, can help limit weeds and whatnot, but oh well. Time to see what I'm missing. Improve soil structure. Wow, soil structure was what I was missing. But now it'll be a little dot jot note on what I've learned, and as long as I remember those main points, I won't have to go back and read an entire page. It's one thing I like about this app. They seem to draw out the key points, but they do it in a way where it's not like the key points of an entire 3 pages of reading or anything. summarization of what you just read into a single question or in two or three questions. I don't know, I think it's a decent way to learn, kind of like taking notes on every page of a book and then having all those notes in one place. While composting is a great way to recycle organic waste, not all materials are suitable for composting. Materials such as meat, dairy, and diseased plants should not be composted due to the risk of attracting pests and spreading disease. Instead, aim for a balanced mix of green, nitrogen-rich materials, such as kitchen scraps, and brown, carbon-rich materials, such as leaves and paper. I did not know that people composted paper, believe it or not. Leaves I can obviously see, but paper's a new one. I wonder if it's a certain type of paper. To ensure efficient decomposition, it's important to turn or aerate the compost pile regularly. This introduces oxygen into the pile, which is necessary for the microbes to break down the materials. A well-maintained compost pile will heat up as the microbes work, indicating that the composting process is underway. So I definitely didn't catch anything that I read in that third paragraph, so let me run that one back. To ensure efficient decomposition, it's important to turn or aerate the compost pile regularly. This introduces oxygen into the pile, which is necessary for the microbes to break down the materials. A well-maintained compost pile will heat up as the microbes work, indicating that the composting process is underway. When they say regularly, though, how much time is regularly? Like every few hours or once a day kind of thing? I feel like every 12 hours maybe would probably be good, but I don't know. Maybe every 8. Anyways, for effective decomposition, it's essential to blink or turn your compost pile frequently. I'm going to assume the word is aerate because I remembered that you had to turn it. But I don't remember if there's another word they're looking for, so I'm going to hope it's aerate. Aerate. Yeah, that was it. Okay. Which of these would be unsuitable for the composting process? Cheese, options for paper, cardboard, and lettuce. Which cardboard over cheese is kind of wild. I didn't picture cardboard to be nah, I just can't see it. I didn't think it was. Well, I mean, I know plants are different, but nutrients in cardboard is just a crazy idea to me. But hey, you learn something new every day, right? What happens to a well-kept compost pile when the microbes are actively working? The options are just it warms up and it cools down, which it warms up. See how easy it is when I actually read. I was just on Kina 2 days ago. Why do I have there's at least 10 questions that they want me to go over from before, and then 3 I missed from today. Blank soils retain nutrients well, but their drainage is poor. Let's see, I want to say that's clay soils. No, other way around. So sandy or loamy, but I'm gonna go sandy. No, it was clay. Oh my god. Their drainage is poor. Their drainage not there. I'm going to hit remembered only because it would just waste you guys' time. Match each plant to its preferred soil pH. This is so unfreaking fair. What kind of question is this? most plants are neutral. Colugo is not a plant. Asparagus is less than 6, which makes it acidic. And blueberries is more than 7, which is alkaline. That's what I'm guessing. Asparagus has to be acidic, right? Okay. I got asparagus and blueberries wrong. What can be used to increase the alkalinity of your soil? It's between pine needles and coffee grounds. I actually don't know this one. It's no wonder why these are so uber specific compared to the normal questions I get. The alkalinity of your soil. I'm going to go with coffee grounds. I was right. Okay. What substance can be used to lower the pH of soil, thereby making it more acidic? It's between lime and sulfur. I feel like I'm pretty sure it's sulfur. Yeah, it was. Because I felt like it was lime, Because lime is a citrus fruit, so it would make sense that it was acidic to me, anyways. But that's because I always compare citrus to citric acid. I don't even know if they have a correlation or any type of connection. My right leg fell asleep. This is a terrible time for it to do that. Okay. Dig a hole 30 centimeters wide and 30 centimeters deep. Sift through the soil and count the worms. How many would you expect to find in a healthy garden? In a healthy garden, you would expect to find around 10 worms. Crazy how I can remember something this specific, right? Or maybe it's because the question is so specific that I was able to remember it better. Interesting thought there. Good drainage is a feature of blank soils, but they are poor at retaining nutrients. That would be sandy. Yes. Blank soils have good drainage and good nutrient retention. That's loamy. It's between sandy and clayey soils. At what time of the year is it most appropriate to apply fertilizer to plants? During the growing season, I want to say, yeah. Which, I feel like that's a generic answer. What's the growing season like? Isn't that different for different plants? Because I have a few books on growing plants throughout the year, so that they pop up in different places in your garden throughout the year. So, like, when they have different. It's an interesting question. Well, it's a good thing I have plenty of time to do research. Now we are getting to the end here, so I should probably slow down my speech so I don't get anybody's blood rushing, because I have definitely been talking way too fast, way too excited. I did have coffee at 9:30, so maybe that's why. But yeah, match these 4 methods of fertilizing. Foliar is spraying nutrients onto the leaves of the plants. Let's see. Side dressing is applying fertilizer to the base of the plant. Top dressing and broadcasting are the ones that always confuse me. I think broadcasting is applying fertilizer to the soil surface, and top dressing is applying compost. Yes, and the only reason that I remember that is because side dressing is applying fertilizer to the base. So in my mind, it would make sense that top dressing is applying fertilizer to the surface of the soil. But that's never it. It's applying compost to the surface of the soil. Why is it different there's another option for fertilizer, but it's not another method of dressing. I don't know. But anyways, what is each set of symptoms a sign of? Let's see. Drooping leaves and slow growth is underwatering. Yellowing leaves in moist soil is overwatering. Browning leaves in scorched appearance is I'm going to say potassium deficiency in smaller leaves and lopsided growth is a lack of sunlight. The reason I'm saying smaller leaves and lopsided growth is a lack of sunlight is because I have a picture. If there's a plant that has it requires full sunlight, no shade, right? During the day, right? If the sun's over here, and then maybe when it gets up, let's say there's a roof that's blocking the view of the plant. Once that view gets blocked, the leaves over here aren't going to grow as well as the leaves over here. So that's the way I rationalize it, which is right, I guess, which makes sense, to me at least. Pruning is best done during late winter or early spring when the plant is, I always say blossoming. I don't think it's blossoming. When the plant is, I want to say stemming this time, and I feel like that's still wrong. Dormant, it's always. Pruning is best done during late winter or early spring when the plant is dormant. Match these pruning techniques to their definition. This one always confuses me because some of them kind of sound like the same thing. So, removing branches to open up the plant to more light, I assume is thinning. Cutting longer branches to encourage bushy growth. I want to say that's I kind of want to say benching. No. I'm going to say deadheading. Removing old flowers to encourage new blooms. I take that back. I'm going to say removing old flowers to encourage new blooms is deadheading. Cutting longer branches to encourage bushy growth, I'm going to say is heading back. And then I'll say removing the tips of stems to encourage branching is benching. I got it right this time. It's big brain time. Let me not say that because I'll get this next one wrong too. Considering the high nitrogen needs of leafy greens, what type of crop should you rotate with them and why? Let's just say this one. Oh, legumes. Legumes. Match each soil amendment to its function. Let's see. Okay. I honestly don't remember. In fact, I think I remember less about this now than I did before. Eggshells, I'm going to say make it more alkaline again. Perlite, I'll say improves water retention. Pine needles for no, this feels so wrong. Ew, ew, ew. Okay, let me commit these questions to memory. This question right here is going to stop me for the next few weeks that I get it. Crushed eggshells make your soil more alkaline. Coconut coir improves water retention. which makes sense. Coconuts, I would imagine, are decently moist. Wouldn't even consider them fruits. It's a decently moist plant, is what we'll say. Pine needles make the soil more acidic. Okay, okay. And perlite improves drainage. Can you list three main advantages of adding compost into garden soil? Improves soil structure, puts nutrients into the soil. Trying to remember. Now I'm forgetting the third one that I had the first time it came around. And the fact that I know that I had it is what makes it so much worse because it's sitting on the edge of my mind. Water retention. Okay. Blank soils retain nutrients well, but their drainage is poor. That was clay. Clay soils match each plant to its preferred soil pH. Most plants, again, are neutral. Blueberries were the acidic one. Asparagus was alkaline. Colugo's not a plant. Asparagus not being acidic is still a, I don't know, it always felt like it was to me. But oh well. Pruning is best done during late winter or early spring when the plant is dormant. Finally, okay. Moment of truth. Coconut coir improves water retention. Perlite improves drainage. Crushed eggshells make it more alkaline. Pine needles make the soil more acidic. And then the three main advantages of adding compost: enriches the soil with nutrients, improves water retention. No, how could I forget this again? There was only one way a samurai can handle his disgrace. Now, let's see. Water retention. Water retention enhances soil structure and enriches the soil with nutrients. Okay. It's about. But to be fair, gardening is a new topic to me on this app. And in general, I took a botany class in 11th grade, which is how I realized I was into it. But I've never really pursued it beyond that until recently. But yeah, it's almost 2 a.m. now. The sleepiness is kicking in. So, yeah. I should still stretch, but I might just do it in the morning. I probably will. I still have to go to the dollar store. Okay, anyways. Thank you guys for watching. If anyone has managed to watch through to this point, I appreciate you. You. Yeah, you. I appreciate you. But yeah, looking forward to uploading again. Might not be super soon, but that's fine by me. I'm not too worried about getting monetized right now. Just kinda in it for the love of the game right now. So yeah. But anyways, yeah. Alright. See you guys later. Hopefully you are sleeping well. And I will see you next time.